light burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, nodding faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready to rumble. Here from Oswego Speedway, it is the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday night street fights. As these drivers jump in onto the racetrack, qualifying has already been here and gone, and now drivers jump in onto the racetrack for a quick warm-up session where they are making sure that their cars are absolutely perfect and absolutely ready to go to battle for what's going to be a crazy night of racing action. It's such a beautiful speedway, man. This is going to be a great race, a great run, a great drive for each and every one of these competitors. And Susie Dickinson, Mama Bear coming in, show the love, that heart reaction. Dave Morgan as well as Jeremy Vaughn Racing coming in with the heart reactions here on the broadcast, showing the big love here in this one. Jeremy says, we struggling at this qualifying, Peacemaker Gaming, laugh out loud. We are still rusty, brother. Still a little rusty, but we're happy to see you back out there on the racetrack and ready to have another night of wild fun here this afternoon. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button on the stream right now. Hit that thumbs up button. Even if you're rewatching the broadcast and we're no longer live and you're just rewatching it now, make sure you guys still help us out. Hit that like button. hit that share button if you're feeling courteous. Make sure you become a part of the Peacemaker family by hitting that follow or subscribe button, and make sure you definitely jump into the comment section. Let us know right now who you're cheering for, who you want to see up and in victory lane, and who you want to see in the dump here in this one, or maybe just a solid top 30 run and get them up here into the broadcast booth. As here we go, we're going to get ready to rock and roll in just a few more moments as my boy Justin Johnson. What's good, JJ? Justin coming in, show the love with the heart reaction. How are you, Justin? How you doing this evening, brother? As my boy Evan Stefanski, Evan coming in with that heart reaction as well in the DWRL, the Dirt Warrior Racing League, becoming a brand new follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. I appreciate that. DWRL, hitting that follow button. As Mama Bear says, hello, my boy Aaron. Hello, Mama Bear. How are you, Mama Bear? How you doing today? As Evan says, Sunrise Racing back up, Peacemaker. Let's go. Flexing the gun says, new scheme for the stream too. Ooh, brother. New paint scheme out there for Evan Stefanski. We'll see if we can jump out there and take a look at it as Evan, all these Stefanskis, all these rides always looking so good, so fancy out there on the Speedway. I don't see Evan out there right now, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do. We do see Zane Yost out there on the Speedway, the 93 ride, looking for a big run. We do see Jacob Stefanski out there in his Tommy Gun Customs, number 7X, ready to roll here. Jeremy Sexton out there in his beautiful 2020 Tommy Gun Customs ride as he rolls out there onto the Speedway. Jeremy Aikens always looking good in that 7 ride, rolls out there currently right now 6th quickest here in this practice session, and there he is, the HNL, the Papa Mike Promotions Mama Bear, that 618 engraving and designs ride, the Peacemaker Gaming Machine. That is the 84 of Bryce Dickinson. Brycey Bear right now sits 7th here on the sheets for quick times here in this practice session. As Hargraves out there as well, Will looking for another big run in his beautiful Grumpy Graphics. DWR number 71 is we're going to see a lot of drivers moving around trying to find some different weights, some different angles to try to work themselves up to the front of the field. As look out, there goes that do-ride right there. There's that brand new paint scheme out there on the racetrack as well. Woo, baby, that thing's looking fresh. That thing is looking sharp, Evan. Not going to lie, my boy. That's a fancy looking ride. I love the purple. Love the purple. Love the paint scheme here, man. It's got that old school look to it. Honestly, it's got that really nice old school look. I love it. I love it. That purple, the yellow, it just works so perfectly. Looks so nice. And that's a beautiful looking ride out there. It's my boy Cameron Stefanski. Cameron setting it off. New star sender here as well. Coming in with the big D of the day. Massive schlong on this guy, okay? The big D coming in here from Cameron Stefanski with the 99-star dono, setting it off here in this one. As Cameron says, you're a beast, Aaron. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, my boy. We try our darndest. We try our darndest to be a beast up here in the broadcast booth. As Cameron coming in also with that like on the stream. Shout out to him again with the 99-star bombing here in this one. Brycey Bear, Bryce Dickinson with that heart reaction here on the broadcast. And DWRL coming in with that share as well here this evening. As each and every one of these drivers looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane here this afternoon. And starting on the pole in the 2020 ride, looking beautiful out there on the racetrack as always, it is that Tommy Gun Customs Cocky Floyd Consulting Sexton Paint and Body number 2020 of Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy will start in that pole position in 93 as Zane Yost will start to his outside. Starting in position number 3, it's the DWR Tommy Gun Customs Jurassic Shark ride. That is Tyler Jackson. T-Jack will start there in position number 3. To his outside in the Bulletproof Motorsports number 18 machine, that is Kyle Surratt in position number 4. Starting in the 5th spot, new paint scheme out there again for the number 47 W ride, as that is the 47 machine of Marco's Pace. A new paint scheme here from Tommy Gun Customs out there on the racetrack as Marco is going to start up into position number 3 here, as it looks like T-Jack Tyler Jackson will take that EOL and go to the back of the field, and that means that we're going to see Richie Yost move up into position number 5. Good to see Richie back out there onto the racetrack. Good to see Mr. Yost out there ready ready to rock and roll this evening, as he's going to have Will Hargraves there to his outside. The DWR number 57 machine, the iRacing iFlag ride of Jim Revis, will start there in 7th to his outside. In the 101 ride, that is Jacob Sexton and his Tommy Gun Custom Sexton paint and body machine there in 8th. Starting in position number 9 in the number 2 ride, that is Cameron Stefanski in the beautiful 5.6 graphics number 2 machine, the Sunrise Racing ride there in 9th. To his outside, it's the 7 of Jeremy Aikens, and then we see the 19 machine. That is Dakota Proud, new paint scheme here for that beautiful Sunrise Racing number 19, as well as Dakota will start there in 11th. To his outside is that 7 ride of Jacob Stefanski. Then we see the 55, that is Eric Zengel. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Eric Zengel there in 14 or 13th. Out there on the racetrack. Dale Slides will start to his outside. And then we see that 5H rider Chris Hill, the 84 of Bryce Dickinson, Dylan Simmons, Jackie Whaley in the 720, the 2 of Ty Ralph there, the 22 of Evan Stefanski, Ryan Howard, Jeremy Vaughn, Jacob Morgan, Tim Taylor, Cody Wright, Zach Yost back there in the rear of the field, Matthew Hobbs, Lon Franks, and Tyler Jackson bringing up the rear of the field as 29 drivers go to battle here from Oswego Speedway. We will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Oswego. As out in front, it's the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy leads the way here in this one. So Sexton out in front with Zane Yost right there in position number 2, as we got all the Yost, all the Sextons, all the Stefanskis out there on the racetrack. We got Zane Yost, Richie Yost, and a little farther back, deeper in the field, we see the Zach Yost ride there in that 589 ride. So all the Yost out there on the speedway, all the Stefanskis. So many doubles, triples, quadruples out there with the Sextons, the Stefanskis, the Yost now. Man, they're just making my job harder and harder up here in the broadcast booth. As Jeremy Sexton continues to lead the way. Jeremy out in front, Zane Yost right there in position number 2. Kyle Surratt hanging on to 3rd here as Richie Yost there in position number 4 and looking for more as Will Hargraves has worked his way up and into that 5th spot on the speedway. Cameron Stefanski in his Sunrise Racing number 2 machine early on, making some big moves here. Already up 5 positions, now into that 6th spot on the speedway. He's looking to try to race his way up and inside the top 5 early in this race, as we got a lot of laps left to go. A lot of laps, a lot of time for these drivers to try to figure out what they need to do, where they need to be, and how they need to try to navigate their way to the front of the field. As Amy Marie Stefanski says, "My boys, let's go," cheering on all the Stefanskis here in this one. Dave Morgan says, "Let's go Sextons," cheering on the Sextons out there on the racetrack. Mama Bear says, "Let's go Bryce Dickinson," cheered on Brycey Bear here this evening. As let's get this overlay working here. I thought that would have worked. There we go. That's a little bit better. There we go. We got the overlay working. And yo, my boy Justin Johnson, what in the are we talking about here? Justin Mother Fluffin Johnson coming in with the big Mother Fluffin D of the day. What in the world? Justin setting it off here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get a hashtag JJ in the chat right now. Hashtag JJ for my boy Justin Johnson in the chat right now. Absolutely insane dono. The 1,000-star bomb in here in this one. You know what? We're going to pin that as well, my boy. We're going to pin that as well here in the stream, as that is absolutely insane, brother. 1,000-star donation here this evening. I don't know if I want to say this subscriber's name over the air, but sick F word. Juggalo 27 just subscribed. Welcome to the Peacemaker family there. SF Juggalo coming in, showing the love here in this one. Showing the big love, dropping that sub and becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker family is James Beavers. What's good, James? James coming in says, what's up? What's up, James? How are you, Mr. Beavers? Justin says, for the GOAT, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love here in this one. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, definitely hit that hashtag JJ in the chat right now for our boy Justin Johnson with the 1,000 star dono, man. Absolutely insane as we do see our first caution flag fly in the day as our first yellow flag here at Oswego Speedway. 10 laps in. Let's take a look and see kind of what happens. Who gets tied up here in this one, as it looks like Marco's Pace with a little bit of damage on the front end of the 47 ride. Everyone trying to navigate their way up and through the field, and looks like potentially some more issues. Looks like the caution flag already out here. So it's not for the 47 ride. Let's take a look back at Matthew Hobbs. He's got his car pointed in the right direction. Jacob Wright does too. Same with Cody Wright. So I'm not too sure where this yellow flag does decide to come out. But nonetheless, we do get the caution out there on the speedway. And let's take a look here. Let's see if we can find potentially some issues out here, as we did see some issues and some damage there on Marcos's ride as he does take his car down pit side here at Oswego, trying to get this thing fixed up, trying to get it repaired and fixed back up here, and see if we can play this back just a little bit. We're gonna throw it into reverse here, Terry, and see when this happens. Looks like it was quite a while ago, and unfortunately for the 47 ride, had fallen quite a ways back, so I'm not sure where this caution flag decided to come out, but nonetheless, it'll stack everyone back up, it'll rack everyone back together, and we'll get ready for our first restart of the day. Our first restart here this evening is my boy Jeff McJeffrey. What's good, Jeff? Jeff coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. My boy Adam Oxley. How are you, Adam? Adam coming in with that like on the stream as well. James Beaver, Evan Monaghan, all coming in with the thumbs up, as Bryce Dickinson and Tina Sexton coming in with those heart reactions here in this one, as Adam says, hashtag JJ the boss. The boss! Yes, Sirski. JJ the boss is right. My boy Justin Johnson coming in with the big dono here this afternoon, as Jeff says, yo, kick the tires and light the fires. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Jeff. Let's go, mister. As here we go. Back to green flag racing. It's Jeremy Sexton in the 93 Azenios. 1 and 2 is down through 3 and 4. We'll see that green flag fly, and a great restart right there for the 20 machine as the 2020 ride out in front. Jeremy Sexton looking to try to run away with this one, trying to be that reflection of perfection here today, but Zanio trying to stick right there with them as they head back down into corner number 3, and nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. Richie Yost does slide up and steals position number 3 away from the coaches. Kyle Surratt slides back into position number 4. Surratt now trying to hang on to it as he's got that 101 of Jacob Sexton working to his outside. Jacob trying to steal position number 4 away from him. Looks like down the back straightaway he's going to get a good enough run and be able to slide just in front of that 18 ride. So the Bulletproof Motorsports ride sliding back into that 5th position, now being hassled here as here comes that 7X looking to try to take him 3 wide right here. Down on the inside is the 7X of Jacob Stefanski trying to work his way inside the top 5. Jim Revis right there ready to pounce. Hargreaves slides back a couple spots, now into position number 8 on the racetrack as we see our second caution flag fly. So our second yellow flag here on the day is going to be displayed. Let's take a look and see what happens. It looks like Jacob Morgan in the 24 ride running into some issues here. Looks like he maybe gets up into the outside fence. Already has some pretty good damage here to the 24 now. I don't know how we didn't get the caution flag a little bit earlier. This is the brand new paint scheme in the middle. The 22 ride, the Sunrise Racing Machine of Evan Stefanski. The 38 down low. I do believe that is the 38 of Matthew Hobbs. And now they're just going to get tied together right here. The 38 slides up over the nose of the 22, then up and into that Playboy Bunny number 24 ride. It's just some good hard contact, hard racing out there. Each and every one of these drivers trying to take everything they can get, not wanting to give an inch out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately, down low, you're going to watch this mean machine right there. Gets a little sideways, tanks the 22 ride, then he kind of runs out of room. Nowhere else for the 22 ride to go. He tries to roll out of it. He gets a bump from behind. Still getting into that mean machine as the Ricky Bobby inspired paint scheme going to go up and around over the nose of the 22 and the 24. Hard contact into that outside fence, and unfortunately there for Matthew Hobbs, this car is going to go up and over here in corner number 2, and that's where we'll see that caution flag fly here this afternoon. Top break there for him as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as we look a little deeper in the field. Drivers trying to work themselves forward here. You see Chris Hill in that Cocky Floyd Consulting 5H. He's up 3 spots. He's trying to get himself a little closer to the front of the pack. See with Tim Taylor. Good to see Timmy out there on the racetrack again in that Grit and Grind TNT Racing Memphis Grizzlies machine as he rolls there in position number, I do believe he's up into 14th or something like that on the racetrack. Lon Franks back there behind him, seen with that 8 rider. Tyler Jackson is T-Jack and Franks. Both get to really navigate too far forward throughout the field. Cody Wright and his 5.6 Graphics TNT Racing number 4 ride. They're in position number 22. Going to get ready for a big restart as Marcos Bates, Cameron Stefanski, Evan Stefanski, Jacob Morgan, Jeremy Vaughn in that 38 rider. Matthew Hobbs bringing up the rear of the field. So here we go. Back to Green Flag Racing here in this one as the 2020 ride. And in front, continue to lead the way with this 93 ride of Zane Yost, not Zach Yost, Zane Yost. He's been right there on the back bumper of this 2020 ride every single lap and has kept him honest, has made sure that this 2020 machine of Jeremy Saxton doesn't make a mistake. If he slips up, if he gets a little sideways, if he opens up the door, that 93 is going to be right there ready to pounce, and now he's got to play a little defense here himself as that 101 of Jacob Saxton up 5 spots now rolls in position number 3, and right behind him it's another Jacob. It's Jacob Stefanski up 8 positions now into position number 4. So the Jacobs working their way through the field here, trying to join this battle up at the front of the pack as the 93 is Zane Yost trying to hang on to it. Richie Yost slides back into position number 5. Hargraves there in that 6th spot with Kyle Surratt down to his inside. Here comes that number 762. Good to see Dale slides out there on the speedway. Dale in that team no love. Number 762 out there on the speedway, looking for a big run here this evening as the beautiful number 762 machine worked himself up 6 spots here. A lot of big movers throughout this race. You see Dylan Simmons right there in that Sunrise Racing number 33 ride. He rolls there in 9th. He's got the HNL Papa Mike Promotions Mama Bear 618 Engraving and Designs ride. That is the 84 of Bryce Dickinson up inside the top 10. Bryce worked himself up 6 spots as well as Jim Moravis sliding backwards here just ever so slightly. Jackie Whaley up 8 spots, and unfortunately for other drivers like Jeremy Eakins back 6 positions. Jack unfortunately still deep in this field. Same with Lon Franks, and we do see the 4 ride up and into the outside fence right there. Heavy hit for the number 4 of Cody Wright, and that will put us under the caution flag. Let's take a look and see what happens here. To Cody as he's trying to work himself up and through the field. Unfortunately for the TNT Racing ride, that's some pretty heavy damage into the outside fence here, down the back straightaway, and unfortunately just that contact here, I think it's going to bust something in that right front, right here. Just bounced it off the wall. Nothing, no other contact, and unfortunately still up too high. Gets into the fence again, and this car just sticks in there, and unfortunately heavy right side damage. Looks like he's going to get stopped there on the speedway and take it right down pit side, and that's where we see that caution flag fly here this evening. Is Papa Mike? What's good, Papa Mike? Papa Mike coming in, showing the love here this afternoon with that heart reaction on the broadcast. How are you, Papa Mike? Hope you're having yourself a wonderful day as each and every one of these drivers, they get ready to go back to battle. They get ready to try and duke it out here once again. They want to go to war and see if they can put themselves up and into victory lane, man, as this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be very interesting to see what these drivers are going to be able to do, how they're going to be able to navigate and try to battle their way up and through the pack here as certain drivers like T-Jack deep in this field. Lon Franks, drivers that we normally see at the front trying to win these races right now, just playing this cat and mouse game, maybe knowing that they have, better tires, maybe just waiting and biding their time for their time to shine and their time to strike here later in this race. That's a big game plan for a lot of these drivers that have to start towards the rear of the field. Take it easy. Don't burn these tires up. We've seen a couple caution flags. You're right there tight with everybody else. You can take it a little bit easier and try to just roll yourself out there on the racetrack without making mistakes or just trying to not burn those tires up, where you can have that extra 5%, 10%, maybe even 20% compared to our race leaders late in this race, and then just drive up and around all of them and maybe put yourself up and into victory lane. As Papa Mike says, I've missed you, Aaron. Papa Mike, we missed you as well, brother. We missed you as well. Papa Mike always coming in, showing the love, and we always miss you guys, man. We need to make sure we can get somewhere here this year, okay? I need to start saving up. I need to start saving up, and I need to make the move. I need to make the move down to the U.S., okay? I think I need to bite that bullet. I need to go to Ohio or Iowa, whatever it is. I can't remember where it is. I think it's Iowa. I think you guys are in Iowa. Ohio's a little too far east than what you guys are. and we definitely need to get down there, maybe get a job at a golf course or something, or just a hardware store or something, and you know, go down and live the American life. As out in front, it is Jeremy Sexton hanging on to the race lead, but he's got that 93 Zane Yost looking to his outside. Down low, here comes the other Sexton out there on the racetrack. It is Jacob Sexton. Looking down low, they make contact. Look out, Jeremy Sexton's around. Oh, baby, this is going to cause a pile up here on the front straightaway. It's a parking lot here at Oswego Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, red flag on the racetrack. Drivers upside down in the big one here this evening at Oswego Speedway. Red flag out there on the racetrack as we see drivers still parked up on top of each other as our race leaders get tied together. That's Zane Yost, Jeremy Sexton, the 7 ride of Jeremy Aikens, all tied up in this one. And look at the body panels in the carnage down the front straightaway here as it all starts at the front of the field as the 93 trying to take a big run down to the inside here of that 2020 ride. They make contact right there. It's getting that 2020 machine, our race leader, our pole sitter, in the reflection of perfection so far here today. Unfortunately takes him sideways, and then all of a sudden he's just parked the wrong direction going down the front straightaway. You see everyone just on the throttle trying to roll down the front stretch here, and they're just stacking up. You see Jacob Sexton, Kyle Surratt making some damage right there, and nowhere to go for Richie Yost. And look at all these other cats, man. They just pile into this one. There are so many drivers that all of a sudden just end up in this wreck that have no business being there, just trying to mind their P's and Q's, and all of a sudden things just close up in a quick hurry as there's the contact at the front of the field. There goes that 2020 ride around, and Richie Yost, that 762 of Dale slides nowhere to go as he gets Bryce Dickinson underneath of him. He's got Dylan Simmons under him. They're bouncing and skipping up and through the sky. You see, oh man, heavy hit there for Ty Ralph, heavy hit for Dylan Simmons. Dakota Proud in there. The 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. The 5H machine of Chris Hill getting some pretty good damage in that, as well as, oh man, this couldn't have been any bigger, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolute wild one. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Bryce Dickinson, see what Brycey Bear sees from the cockpit, as you can't really see much. You don't know what's happening in front of you, and all of a sudden things are starting to stack up, and you're on the bumper of the next guy. You just get shoved in there, and nothing you can do except for hang on and hope for the best. And unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, they did not get the best outcome right there. A lot of drivers had this view right here, jacked up, checking the rear end fluid of the driver in front of them as they just stack in here, pile in here, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Where do you go? Where do you go? You got nowhere to go. And unfortunately, that's just Oswego Speedway in a big wreck here on the front straightaway. The 47 of Marcos Pace tied up in there. The 14 Ryan getting some damage as well. And so many other drivers just absolutely destroyed. I think the only ones that really made it through there were Jacob Sexton. Watch Jacob down low. He's able to get the run and get the group here. He's able to get through there with very minimal damage in with Jacob Sexton. Kyle Surratt, they get a little damage. You see that 71 ride though. Pretty much picture perfect car right there for that number 71 right of Will Hargraves. He's probably one of the only other ones to be able to get through this without damage. Look at him stack up down low. That's Tyler Jackson, T-Jack. He's jacked up underneath Alon Franks. Franks is piled underneath with somebody else out there on the racetrack, and they just continue to pile in there and just continue to get heavy damage out there on the speedway, man. There is nothing that these guys could really do. Look at the carnage here. Look down low. Oh, man, big hit right there. You see Tim Taylor. He goes around, and that's where Jackie Whaley and, oh, man, you see Cameron Stefanski, Evan Stefanski tied up in it. T-Jack, he's tied up in it. There goes that 33 right of Dylan Simmons upside down and into the outside fence right there. Is so much carnage, so many tore-off race cars, and now we do go back to green flag racing with Jacob Stefanski, our new race leader. So Jacob now out in front with Jacob Sexton. They're in second. Hargraves up and into third here with Kyle Surratt. They're in fourth. And then you see some of these tore up and destroyed race cars back there behind him. Jim Revis missing the whole front bumper on that iRacing high flag DWR ride as he rolls to the outside. Here with Tyrell trying to battle for that fifth position. As my boy Cecil Kirkpatrick, what's good, Cecil? Cecil coming in, show the love, says, what's up? So good to see you still doing this, brother. I would win anywhere, my boy. I would win anywhere. We continue to rise and grind, and we're up here in the broadcast booth every mother fluffing night of the week. Continue to put on some absolutely amazing shows for each and every one of the fans in the stands here this afternoon. As man, this has been nothing better to do, man. Nothing better to do. No better thing to do here than you know, just hang out with everyone in chat, hang out, watch these guys battle and duke it out, and be up here in the broadcast booth on a Wednesday afternoon, or pretty much any afternoon, as we're up here every single day of the week. There's no days off. There's no time to stop and worry about or smell the roses or anything else. We're just going to continue to keep on grinding. Alrighty, so we're actually going to start a goal over on YouTube right now as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to host a post-race Q&A with the drivers post-race. If we hit the goal over there on YouTube. If we can hit that goal over on YouTube right now, or within the next, I think, 45 minutes or an hour, whatever we set it at, we will do a post-race Q&A where we'll jump into the Discord with all the drivers that want to hop in here and have this post-race Q&A. So if you guys want to help us out and reach our goal over there on YouTube, then we would definitely appreciate it. It would be much appreciated, and we are going to take a look back here and take a look and see what brings up the contra flank once again, as it looks like the 720 ride of Jackie Whaley going to get tied up in this one, as Dale Slide's going to come up into him, get a little contact there. He gets down into the inside fence, and again, they just start to pile in there, stack up. Heavy damage there for Dale Slides, heavy damage for Dylan Simmons. That 38 right of Hobbs, and you see Zane Yost, one of our drivers, battling at the front of the field early in this race. All of a sudden, he's just got nowhere to go out there on the speedway, and for that 93 machine, some pretty good damage again on this ride after getting tied up in that big one. Sees this contact down low, and then they just pile up and roll off to the outside lane. Jackie Whaley, Dylan Simmons, they all get in there, and he gets up, jacked up on top of the DWR iRacing iFlag 720 ride, as that puts us back under the yellow flag, and that means we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to battle here in this one. Is Caboose Racing? What's good, Caboose? Caboose coming in says, "What's up, peace? What's up, Caboose? How are ya? How you doing this afternoon?" As Cecil says, "I've been off iRacing for a little over a year now. I'm going to grab my wheel and pedals out of storage this weekend and make a comeback." Yo, Cecil, we would love to see that, brother. We would love to see that. 100% make a comeback. Jump back down here, have some fun, some good old Dirt Street stock racing. I know Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the DWR crew put these races on, and no entry fees, and hosted. You can jump out there, have some fun, join the battles, and you know, race with some of your old teammates out there. We've seen a lot of them in these races and continue to battle here in this one. Is James? What's good, James? James coming in, show the loves is now on YouTube. Laugh out loud. Let's go, brother. That's what's up right there, my boy. YouTube is always the place to be. YouTube is always the place to be, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube and Facebook are our most loved places. As James Bieber says, "Holy moly, what a crash." Looks like Talladega. That wreck did look like Talladega. That did look like Talladega. As just says, "Holy shit, holy shit," he says. "Yes, sir, holy shit." Yeah, that's gonna have to be clipped, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's gonna have to clip that one, ship it, and clip it and ship it, ladies and gentlemen. As Papa Mike says, "I was yelling at Brycey Bear to go low." Go low, Bryce, go low. Oh, man, in that split second, though, it's so tough to decipher or to know where you need to be, where you need to roll out there on the racetrack. As the cautions continue to bring out more cautions here as we do go back under the yellow flag here once again. Let's take a look back here again and see if we can figure out what happens out there on the racetrack. Is another wreck, looks like potentially Dale Slides and Jeremy Vaughn getting tied up here in this one. Let's take a look and see what happens as the 762 trying to navigate his way back up towards the front of the field. They start to stack up there to the outside here, and unfortunately that's Evan Stefanski turned around. Jeremy Vaughn getting collected in that one, over to go there for that 14 machine, as him and the 762 just pile in there as the 22 ride, new paint scheme, and unfortunately has not brought him any good luck here this evening for Evan Stefanski. Just going to get a little contact, and he's going to go for a bit of a run right here as the Jesus Loves You, number 22, rolling out here as the 24 bounces off the wall. He checks up. Jeremy Vaughn gives him a shot in the shorts right there, and that's what helps him go around, and then they all just start to pile in there once again. Luckily enough, only about 3 or 4 drivers getting some real damage out of that as the caution flag comes back out. We'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. As Amy Marie Stefanski, Amy coming in, showing the love as well with that heart reaction. I appreciate that, Amy. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying the racing action here this evening, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to duke it out. We get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one, and we're not even halfway through this race. We still got a lot of racing action left to go here this evening. A lot of laps, a lot of carnage that can still unfold, and a lot of things that can change here at the front of the field as that number 7X ride, the Tommy Gun Customs machine out in front. It's Jacob Stefanski with Will Hargraves there to his outside. 1 and 2 on the speedway, getting ready to go back to green flag racing as there's the green flag back out into the air. Another great racer right there for Jacob Stefanski. As Jacob quickly back onto the lap pedal, looking to try to run away with this one. Hargreaves trying to hold off that number 101 as Jacob Saxton down to his inside, trying to move himself up into position number 2. Unfortunately, that's to slide in behind that 71H Hargreaves as you see Kyle Surratt in the 2-ride of Tyrell now duking it out door to door. This is a battle for position number 4 on the racetrack. The 2-ride of Cameron Stefanski right there as well. Cameron continuing to get better and better and better week after week after week. We see this Sunrise Racing number 2 machine continue to get some great runs, some great finishes, and now we see the 2-2s battling out there on the speedway for position number 5 on the racetrack. Zach Gibson worked that 589 right up and into position number 7. He's up 23 positions, started all the way back in 30th, and now has himself up and into 7th out there on the racetrack. Lon Franks, who had to start back there deep in the field, he's there in 8th, and Tyler Jackson, he's up and into 9th. So for Tyler Jackson and Lon Frank, both now back inside the top 10, looking to try to race their way up to the front of the field. Bryce Dickinson right there as well. Brycey Bear rolls there in that 10th position. So luckily enough, the damage for the 84 ride has been repaired. That car is back into one solid piece and rolling out here on the speedway, looking to try to move himself back up through the top 10 and get another great run here this evening, as well as my boy Adam Oxley. What's good, Adam? Adam coming in with a 200-star bomb in here in this one. What's good, brother? I appreciate that, Adam, coming in, showing the love here this evening here in this one, brother. I mean, I don't want to overshadow it with Justin Johnson's 1,000-star dono, but I still appreciate it nonetheless, man. Every single time you guys come in here and donate your hard-earned money into these broadcasts, man, I can't thank you guys enough. It helps us keep the lights on, keep us, fed in the internet paid and all of our other things that we need to keep this alive, our Streamlabs, our overlays, all the things that we need to keep these streams alive and keep doing what we do up here in the broadcast booth, man. It helps us out a ton and helps make these streams that much bigger and better week after week after week. And it's all for you guys, man. It's all for the fans in the stands, and that's what it's all about. It's about bringing some smiles to people's faces and helping people have that much better of a day by being able to put on these amazing races and put on these great shows for everyone to enjoy. As Jerry Rose also coming in with that like on the stream. How are you, Jerry? Jerry coming in with that thumbs up, and Just Viv coming in with that like on the stream as well. How are you, Just Viv? Just Viv coming in, showing the love here this evening, as Viv's going to be happy as out in that second spot is that beautiful number 71 H ride, the Dirt Panda Grumpy Graphics DWR number 71 ride of Will Hargraves. Hargraves rolling there in position number 2, and Will looking to see if he can finally get himself back up into the broadcast booth, maybe back up and into victory lane. It seems like it's been a while since we saw Will pick up a dump. He's dealt with some steering wheel issues. He's dealt with some other problems just trying to get these cars fixed up and rolling again out there, and luckily enough, here tonight, looks like he's got this thing figured back out and rolling here again this evening, as the caution flag does fly once again. Another yellow flag out there on the racetrack. More issues here this afternoon as cautions continue to breed cautions. Drivers continue to run into problems, and let's see if we can take a quick look back and see what brings out I don't even know what caution flag we're on to now here, as I do believe we're going to see Couple drivers, couple cats get tied up here in this one, and potentially the 589 ride tied up in this as well, as he's rolling down to the inside. Let's keep an eye on him, as right there he bounces it off the outside fence, trying to keep this thing going the right direction, but it's not where we see that caution flag fly. We don't see Hobbs out there. Dylan Simmons and the 14, they're pointing the right direction out there, so I'm not sure where this yellow flag really started. I do believe it was probably Tim Taylor in this number 22, and there it is. All right, we finally catch it out there on the stream, as we're going to see Tim Taylor. Looks like he's going to be the first car to kind of go around here, as Dakota Proud sends it in there too deep, gets a piece of them, and then they just get stacked up again there on the high side. Jeremy Vaughn, Dylan Simmons, Evan Stefanski all tied up in it. The 24 ride, he's in there, as well as that 19 of Dakota Proud, and that's what puts us back under the caution flag. As here we go, back to green flag racing, as Jacob Stefanski with another good restart. That 7X quickly back onto the left pedal and looking to try to open up a lead, and a bit of advantage here between himself and Hargreaves. But Hargreaves now starting to feel the pressure here himself after getting a piece of that outside fence. It's Tyrell, he was outside, looking to jump up into position number 2, and look at T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, now up and into 4th, and Bryce Dickinson now into the 5th position. Where in the world did Brycey Bear come from? Brycey Bear now up and into position number 5, and going for a drive here this evening, as he's looking to try to park that H&L Papa Mike Promotions Mama Bear number 84 ride up and into the broadcast booth here once again, looking for another podium run here this evening, as Cameron Stefanski and Jacob Sexton battle back there behind him. We do see that 93 of Zane Yost and the 10 of Lon Franks right there. They're both looking to try to navigate their way towards the front of the field, as Zane unfortunately got tied up in that big wreck. Probably the cause of that big wreck here for the 93. He's just been trying to navigate his way back through that traffic here, and he's raced his way up inside the top 10 once again. So a great run here, rolling for the 93 ride once again. Same with Jeremy Sexton. Sorry there, Jeremy Sexton, not Jacob Sexton. Jeremy Sexton in that 2020 ride. The driver that was leading this race early on. He was our pole sitter, led the first 20 laps or so before we saw that big wreck down the front straightaway where him and Zane Yost got tied together and caused that massive pileup. They both went to the rear of the field. They have both worked themselves back up inside the top 10. Lon Franks, after joining the top 10, we thought he would drive his way up and through there, and be right there with Tyler Jackson maybe, and trying to race his way to the front of the field. Unfortunately kind of stalled out right there in about that 8th, 9th position. Now sliding back to 10th for that number 10 ride, as Jacob Stefanski continues to lead the way. Will Hargreaves right there in position number 2. Tyler Jackson, the DWR, the Jurassic Shark Tommy Gun Customs ride, to back up and into 3rd here. This is where he was supposed to start this afternoon. Unfortunately had to take an EOL and go to the rear of the field here this evening, the end of the line. And for that 8 ride, he has navigated his way up and through the traffic, through that chaos and carnage, and has now put this 8 machine up and in to position number 3. And he's looking to try to hunt down our top 2 cats here, and looking to try to pick up the win here at Oswego Speedway. Is Tyrell there in 4th? Bryce Dickinson back in position number 5. He's got the 101 of Jacob Sexton and the 2 ride of Cameron Stefanski all around him. Is Cameron down low? The 101 right there on his back bumper. Here comes Zane Yost trying to roll his way up and into that battle. Same with Jeremy Sexton and Lon Franks. Franks rolls there in that 10th position. Marco's Pace, after getting tied up in a couple of those wrecks, he's got his car kind of figured back out, and he's got this 47 ride rolling towards the top 10 now, as he slides right down low and goes for the slide job there over Lon Franks, and moves himself up into 10th. Moves Lon Franks outside the top 10 is Richie Yost right there as well. Richie back up inside the top 12, looking to try to drive inside the top 10 here with Chris Hill right there in tow. Jackie Whitley back there in 14th. Jeremy Akins rounding out our top 15. Dakota Proud back here in 16th with Jim Revis. Dale Slides, Zach Yost there in that 589 ride. Evan Stefanski in that brand new Sunrise Racing number 22 back there in 20th. He's got that TNT Racing 99 ride of Tim Taylor down to his inside with the 14 of Jeremy Vaughn back there in 22nd. Jacob Morgan there in the 24 with Dylan Simmons in that 33, rounding out our top 24 out there on the racetrack. As it looks like Kyle Surratt, Matthew Hobbs, and Ryan Howard, Cody Wright, and Eric Zangel have all taken their cars off of the racetrack. As out in front is Jacob Stefanski, who continues to lead the way, but it's T-Jack Tyler Jackson now up and into position number 2. As T-Jack was able to work himself around Will Hargraves. Hargraves slides back into 3rd, and now we see that Jurassic Shark Ryan try to drive his way back up and into victory lane. Can he get it done here in this one? There is still a lot of laps left to go. Still a lot of racing left here this evening for each and every one of these drivers. They know that they got 20 laps left to try to navigate their way to the front of the field. If they got something left in the tank, this is your time to shine. This is your time to work yourself to the front of the pack. There's no more hanging back. There's no more laying back. You need to put your foot into the throttle and start driving yourself up here to the front of the field, as we could go clean and green. We could not see another caution flag here this evening, but I feel we're going to see at least maybe 1 or 2 more here this afternoon. As Caboose says, elbows out, boys, elbows out, and there is the yellow flag. The caution flag is going to come back out. That was probably the announcer's curse right there. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as the announcer's curse coming out here in this one. As soon as I spoke it right into existence, and the yellow flag going to come out here in this one. It looks like Jeremy Sexton going to run into some more issues here. Jeremy trying to hang on to this 2020 ride. Lon Franks sliding right up in front of him. Richie Yost back there on his back bumper. Looks like Richie going to give him a shot into the shorts there on corner entry. Unfortunately, just unsettles that 2020 ride and just kind of jacks up that rear end. Can't get that car planted into the corner, as here's the contact right there. Gives him a big shot, just kind of lifts that rear end up enough to knock those rear tires a little bit loose. No traction right through the slick stuff, and around that 2020 Ryan goes, and they see Chris Hill and a lot of these other drivers trying to get down low and trying to avoid it. Here is, Jim Revis and the 589 Ryan going to get a piece of it. Here comes Jeremy Vaughn trying to slide through there. Here comes that 33 at Dylan Simmons, as oh man, heavy hit right there for Jim Revis. Jim just trying to get down low, trying to avoid it here, and unfortunately drives right in there, gets a big piece of it. Let's see if we can take another look at another perspective here from Jim Revis' side. As the Dirt Panda iRacing I-Flag. DWR Ryan rolling down here through the back straightaway. The contact's up in front of him. There goes that 2020 Ryan turned around, and then Jim just trying to get down low, trying to avoid it. Unfortunately, the 2020 rolls down the racetrack and just clips him right there, and some pretty big contact there for him. And then Jeremy Vaughn's going to give him a shot there as well. As oh man, another caution flag, another restart, getting ready to rumble here in this one. Is Papa Mike says, hey, Jeremy Vaughn Racing, as Brad Racing. Brad coming and show the love here with the raid as well, inviting his viewers to jump in here and watch our broadcast this afternoon. I appreciate that. Brad coming and show the big love here in this one. I appreciate that, brother, and hope you had yourself a wonderful stream. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing. It's the Green Flag back out into the air. T-Jack trying to take this race lead away from Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski rolls down on the inside, picture perfect through 1 and 2. They're door to door though. Down the back straightaway. T-Jack up on the top shelf. The 7X down low as T-Jack thinking a little bit here. Late in the game, that's definitely not what you want to do, especially battling for the race lead, is that's going to make it that much tougher here for that 7X ride to try to battle with it, as he doesn't know where Tyler Jackson is. He doesn't know if he's going to be clear or if he slides up of the racetrack, and unfortunately not clear of that 8 ride. They could get tied up and tore up in a quick hurry, as you see Hargreaves, Tyrell, Jacob Sexton back there in tow. That 84 rider, Bryce Dickinson, still trying to hang on to that 5th position, as he's got that 101 right to his outside. The 2 machine right there on his back bumper of Cameron Stefanski, and that 93 machine still up there as well, battling hard. That is Zane Yost up and in position number 7, and looking for more here this evening is my boy racing Jason Fontaine. What's good, Jason? How are you, Jason? How you doing this afternoon, brother? As Jason says, yo, my brother, what's good, Jason? How are you, Mr. Fontaine? Racing Jason Fontaine, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got ourselves a Merrittville Speedway, Humberstone Speedway legend in the house here this afternoon. How are you, Jason? How you doing this afternoon, brother? It's Jeff Dickinson. What's good, Jeff? Jeff coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast as well. How are you, Jeff? How you doing this afternoon, brother? Is out in front and taking the race lead. It is that number 8 ride, the DWR iRacing I-Flag, the Jurassic Shark Machine. It is Tyler Jackson out in front and leading the way here at Oswego Speedway, as the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday night street fights putting on a another banger for us here this evening as Jacob Stefanski slides back to second. He's trying to hang on to it as Will Hargreaves rolls there in position number 3. Tyrell there in 4th, and Zane Yost now back up inside the top 5 as Yost looking to try to hunt down our top 4 here and seeing if he can work himself back up in towards this race lead. As my boy racing Jason Fontaine. What's good, Jason? Jason coming in, showing the big love with the 20-star dono here in this one. I appreciate that. Jason showing the love here, dropping the stars this afternoon. And my boy Tommy Bailey. What's good, Tommy? Tommy is another Brighton Speedway champion and a Brighton Speedway legend up in the house as well. How are you, Mr. Bailey? How are you this evening? Is Tommy coming in with that like on the stream as well? It's good to see the fellas in here. Some of the in real life racing family that we got showing the love here in this one. It's T-Jack, Tyler Jackson out in front, continuing to lead the way. Stefanski back in second with Hargreaves. They're in third. Tyrell and Zane Yost are top 5 out there on the racetrack with Cameron Stefanski. Marcos pacing the 47 and the 101 of Jacob Sexton back there in position number 8. Lon Franks up and into 9th, and Bryce Dickinson, Brycey Bear, unfortunately, now sliding back into position number 10, and he's trying to hang on to it as Richie Yost down to his inside. As Bryce gets up into the outside fence, here goes a big slide right there from the 29 ride, as Yost will jump up into the outside lane now as a great crossover there, and a Bryce Dickinson looking to try to pay him back down through 3 and 4. He'll go door to door and try to keep on battling here for that 10th position. Unfortunately for Bryce Dickinson, though, he is going to slide back into 11th and now has that 720 of Jackie Whaley right there on his tail, trying to work himself up and back towards the top 10 here this evening. As lookout issues for the 2 ride. Oh man, big wreck right here. Drivers getting tore up on the front straightaway, back straightaway here at Oswego Speedway. That was Jim Revis getting turned around right there. Tyrell tore up in it. Tyne's going to take his car down pit side as the caution flag will come back out late in this race. Another yellow flag here this evening. Let's take a look back and see how this one gets started as the twos get tied together out here. Deuce is wild out there on the speedway. Oh man, big run coming down the hill for the 2 rider Tyrell and Evan Stefanski. Not Evan, that's Cameron Stefanski and his Sunrise Racing number 2 machine. Tries to jump down to the inside, tries to jump up a spot here. Unfortunately, look at the big run right here. So the 2 ride sees the slide job coming, crosses him over and tries to get this big run down the racetrack. Unfortunately, Cameron right there, they make some contact. Around goes the pair of 2s, and unfortunately here, this is in front of pretty much 80% of our field. You see the 47 of Marcos Pace, the 101 right of Jeremy Sexton. He's going to get a piece of it. There's Lon Franks, drives right into it there. Heavy hit there for Lon. And then you see Richie Yost. He'll get tied up in it again, and then everyone else just trying to avoid it. Everyone trying to get around and trying to avoid that contact. And for the 57 of Jim Revis, as he's trying to get checked up here, the 10 right of Lon Franks, his teammate, going to come right down the racetrack and clip him right there. Heavy contact into that right rear quarter panel there, and then into the tires on pit entry. Heavy hits right there for the DWR rides. Lon Franks and Jim Revis both get tied up there in that one as the caution flag coming back out here fairly late in this race. Only 9 laps left to go, so single file restarts here this late in the race. Is John Schmidt. John coming in, showing the love as well with the like on the stream. How are you, Mr. Schmidt? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. As here we go, getting ready to go back to battle, getting ready to duke it out again here this evening as each and every one of these cats are ready to duke it out. And look at Marco's pace. Marco's up and into position number 3 on the speedway, trying to put his Tommy Gun Customs ride potentially up and into victory lane. But on that restart, him and the number 7X rider Jacob Stefanski make a little bit of contact there. It gets both of them kind of log jammed up. Unfortunately, they do not get a good launch. They do not get a good start. And for the 8 rider Tyler Jackson, that's exactly what he wanted to see. Is now he's got about 4 or 5 car lengths between himself and that Tommy Gun Customs number 7X rider Jacob Stefanski. As Jacob rolls back there in position number 2, he's trying to hunt down that 8 ride as the Jurassic Shark continues to lead the way. Another lap gets clicked off and we get closer and closer to our checkered flag here this evening as Stefanski and Pace back there in tow and rounding out our top 3 on the speedway. Richie Yost back up into position number 4 and looking for more as Bryce Dickinson down low, looking to battle here with that 101 ride of Jacob Sexton for position position number 5 of the racetrack. And Price and Jacob side by side here for position number 5. That's Jackie Whaley back there behind him, trying to navigate his way for the first time up inside the top 5, as he would love to jump up inside around both of them and inside the top 5 here this evening, as we will see the caution flag fly here once again. So caution flag will come back out as the 589 of Zach Yost going to run into some problems here. Let's take a look and see what happens to Zach as he's hanging that rear end out quite a ways here. Sliding up through that high side, the tires starting to fade away, and unfortunately here as he heads down into corner number 1, looks like he's going to get in there maybe a little bit too deep, makes contact with the 24 ride, just loses that rear end, and around he goes in contact into the inside fence, but pointed the wrong direction. Stop there on the racetrack. That will bring us back under the yellow flag here this evening. So caution flag back out there on the racetrack, and that means another late race restart for the Jurassic Shark number 8 machine, Tyler Jackson. He's looking to try to hold all these drivers off, looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. And if you're over on Facebook, you can type into the chat right now, !notify, !notify. That will turn on the live notifications. That way you never miss the racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming. As Ricky Chandler, Cody McCoy coming in showing the love with the likes on the stream, and Cody coming in with that share, as well as we'll see these drivers make at least one more lap around the speedway before we go back to battle here in this one. Is Rob Stefanski, what's good, brother? Rob coming in, dropping the thumbs up here on the broadcast, as well as each and every one of these drivers ready to duke it out as another late race restart. I believe we're going to see 6 laps left to go when we head back down across the line here this evening. 6 laps of racing action left here from Oswego Speedway, biting some more caution flags here this evening and potential of some overtime here this afternoon. This race still not over. Still a lot of action left to happen. As here we go. Back onto the throttle for T-Jack. A good restart, able to open up at least a couple car lengths between himself and Stefanski. Stefanski, though, a much better restart there. Trying to stick right with that 8 ride. Seeing if he can try to reel him in and trying to also keep that 47 ride of Marco's pace back there at bay. As Marcos now has that 29 ride of Richie Yost on his back bumper, and Bryce Dickinson rounding out our top 5 here, as it looks like that high side really starting to fade away. Drivers roll the outside lane. Using that outside groove here just seems to be kind of obsolete right now. It's too slick. It's too risky to be up there on that top shelf. And if you leave that bottom lane open, they may just cruise control right down low and around you. And you can get freight train right to the back of the pack. So you got to be very, very careful on the moves you're choosing out there on the racetrack this late in this race, as it can take you from a good finish to all of a sudden a very bad night at the racetrack. As T-Jack out in front had to take the EOL, started at the rear of the field, and he's worked that Jurassic Shark ride up to the front of the pack as he went from the doghouse up and into the penthouse and looking for the checkered flag here this evening. It's down and out at corner number 4, back down across the line. We will see 3 more laps left to go here in this one. 3 more laps here for Tyler Jackson to pick up another checkered flag here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. Jacob Stefanski looking to try to take it away from him, still trying to hunt him down by a couple car lengths back, but getting a great run right there through corner number 3, but now on corner exit, how much does he lose to T-Jack? T-Jack able to open up that lead once again, back down across the line. 2 laps left here in this race. His pace starting to fall back here, and now starting to feel the pressure as he's got that 29 of Richie Yost right there trying to navigate his way up and into the podium here this evening. As Richie back there in 4th, Bryce Dickinson rounding out our top 5, but it's T-Jack down through corner number 3. Nice and easy out at corner number 4, and we will see that white flag fly. So one more time around here from Oswego Speedway, Tyler Jackson leads us down through corner number 1 and out of 2. And for the final time, here this afternoon down the back straightaway, the Jurassic Shark, DWR, iRacing, iFlag, Tommy Gun Customs, number 8 ride will lead us down through 3 and out of 4, and he will see that checkered flag fly as Tyler Jackson will pick up the win here at Oswego Speedway in the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday night street fights. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give a tip of your cap right there as Tyler Jackson went from the doghouse to the penthouse here. Started at the back of the pack, started in the 29th position, and raced his way up through the field, through all the chaos, the carnage, and all of the traffic, and has found his way up and in to victory lane here this evening from Oswego Speedway. What a run and what a drive right there for the DWR number 8 machine as he'll park that Jurassic Shark ride up and into the Oswego Speedway victory lane here on the front straightaway, man. What a run and what a drive there by him here this afternoon. Heck of a run and drive there as well for the Tommy Gun Custom 7X, the Sunrise Racing ride of Jacob Stefanski. As Jacob coming home there in position number 2, and Marco's Pace back there rounding out our top 3, man. What a run, what a drive, what a absolute battle here this afternoon. A lot of craziness there, a lot of caution flags and chaos out there on the racetrack as Papa Mike says, congrats to T-Jack. What's good, Michael? Michael Scott Spencer coming in, show the love, says, hey, my brother. What's up, Michael? How are you, mister? How you doing this afternoon? As Mama Bear and Papa Mike both coming in with the good runs there for Bryce C. Bear as Bryce Dickinson rounding out our top 5. James says, good show and race. Great show, great race out there. As Mama Bear also giving the congratulations, the way to go there to Tyler Jackson. As my boy Joshua Neal, Joshua coming in with the like on the stream. I appreciate that, Josh. Smash that thumbs up button here this evening as we'll get ready to pull in our top 3 drivers here into the broadcast booth real quick as T-Jack picking up the dub, getting the win here this afternoon. Let's get these drivers up and into the booth here this afternoon as let's see if Tyler's connection is going to work here. Hey, Tyler, you got a copy? Sometimes it takes us a couple times pulling them in here. Let's see if we can get them. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Tyler, you got a copy? See if we jump into a different booth and see if it'll help. Hey, Tyler, you got a copy?
Hey, we got you, Aaron.
There we go. All righty. T-Jack, man, what a run, what a drive. Take us back through this one, man, as you qualify in position number 3. We're supposed to have that good start, but you take that EOL to start this race. So you go to the rear of the field here and have 28 other drivers in front of you that you have to try to navigate your way through. Have to try to avoid some of that carnage where we saw you get tied up in that big one on the front straightaway where I'd say probably 85-90% of our field all got tore up and got some pretty heavy damage there on the front stretch, but somehow or another you're able to battle through all the traffic, through all the chaos and carnage out there on the racetrack and race your way back up towards the front of the field, take this race lead away from Jacob Stefanski and park that Jurassic Shark ride back up and into victory lane here at Oswego Speedway. Brother, take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you park down there in victory lane?
Yeah, man, we had the same thing a couple weeks ago here at Oswego where we had to start in the back, and I think we went to the top like lap 15 and we gained a lot of positions. I was kind of hoping I could do that again, but I think some of the guys learned from that race. The top gets pretty good middle of the race, so I actually couldn't go to the top. We just kind of stayed at the bottom, and I just kind of decided with everybody it seemed like running up there, I'll just stay down low and let them burn their stuff up, and seems like it worked out. You know, we were pretty good at the end. That last 2 wide restart with Jacob there, I knew if I could stay with him, getting into one side by side and run the slider line, I knew we'd have a good shot at getting him because the 2 lanes were really even. I think it took a lap or 2, but we finally got him. And then after that, I really didn't know what to do in 1 and 2. I didn't know if I should stay low or run a slider line. I was kind of going back and forth with it. They seemed pretty even, but 3 and 4 was where we were making all our speed. We were keeping that left front right on that inside wall and keeping the car really straight on entry. And yeah, it worked out good. A lot of wrecks. We avoided most of them, gotten a couple of them, had to get a quick repair. But the only good thing is when half the field wrecks and you get a quick repair, you really don't lose any spots.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't really lose too many positions out there on the racetrack and continue to battle up and through that top 10. And slowly but surely, you find yourself inside that top 5. Now, you got a lot of fast cats up there that you're duking with there. You look at Jacob Stefanski and Jacob Sexton and some of these other guys like, Coach Kyle Surratt was up there battling with you. And a lot of these other fast competitors, man. What was going through your mind as you finally got there? Did you feel like you were able to hang back enough early in this race and kind of take care of your tires a little bit better than they did and start to just know that you could drive around them and keep them back there behind you?
Well, yeah, I knew Jake when Jacob had the lead, and I know he's really good at running the bottom and staying straight, and he doesn't venture up top a lot. So I figured he hadn't really ran the top much, and figured he had a lot of tire left. So that's who I was worried about. But luckily that upper groove there, that slider 3 and 4, just had enough grip just to get clear of him. I don't think if we wouldn't have got him on that restart, I don't think I would have been able to get around him as we went back green. But yeah, I got lucky those last few restarts. I got a couple decent jumps and just had a couple car lengths and could breathe a little bit, so that was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Get those couple, gaps between you and that 7X ride, especially late in this race, as we saw you obviously have a few of those late race restarts trying to keep him back there at bay and hoping that no one else back there behind you found some extra speed or found a different lane out there on the racetrack, as it seemed like in those closing laps. Once we kind of went to that single file restarts, it was just bottom side dominant, and we know you love to run that inside groove and able to hit your marks, keep them all back there at bay, even as Jacob was trying to throw some different sliders and different lines, trying to work his way up there to your bank bumper. It just seemed like he could never get the run he needed to get back to you here this evening.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the when the tires go away or the actual track falls off, but at the end of the races here, you pretty much, for the most part, that top is gone. Yeah, I saw him trying some different stuff, and I know he was. That actually made me happy because for him to get off the bottom, I knew I must have been. He must have conceded defeat there, so he was trying something different, so that made me smile.
Absolutely, and you were smiling all the way right up and into victory lane here this evening. Tyler, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive here this evening?
Yeah, all the guys at DWR for putting this on. I know they're going to have a long replay to go through tonight. Didn't seem like guys were claiming their cautions much, so they'll have some work to do, and I'm sure there's going to be some guys that aren't going to be welcome back, but that's just part of it. And Jim and Lon and Jackie and those guys do a really good job with the league. So yeah, shout out to them. Thank you for the broadcast, Tommy Gun Customs for having a Jurassic Shark looking good. This paint scheme's only been around a few weeks and it's been picking off quite a few wins and podiums. So go get yourself a Tommy Gun custom wrap there and give you a couple extra horse.
Absolutely. Well, T-Jack, great run, great drive here this evening. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack, hopefully this Friday afternoon. If not, we'll see you back out there next Wednesday.
You got it, brother. Have a good night.
You too. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Tyler Jackson. T-Jack picking up the dub here in this one as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place driver, the number 7X ride of Jacob Stefanski. Jacob coming home there in position number 2. Let's pull him up and into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jacob, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jacob, man, what a run, what a drive here for you. Man, it looked like it was going to be your race. You had that 7X ride out in front and trying to open up some big leads, but all these caution flags kept bringing these drivers right back to your rear bumper, and slowly but surely, T-Jack finds his way up to the front of the field. He's able to battle with you and steal this lead away from you, and he just seemed like he could never get back to his rear bumper, even with these late race restarts, trying to hit them perfectly, trying to stick with them. Just seemed like he was able to get that jump and just hit that inside lane too perfectly for you to close the gap and try to battle with them here tonight for the race win late in this race.
Yeah, he had those restarts. That was really the only speed difference really there at the end. And when he got up next to me to run for the lead, he was blinking a ton. And there was a few of those corner exits where I kind of lifted out of it, not knowing if he was there or not, because I didn't hear him and I didn't see him. And then all of a sudden he reappeared next to me. So, that had me a little nervous while running for the lead. But either way, anytime you can run second to a guy like T-Jack, hats off to him and congrats on the win. this is a tough field with these DWR guys, and I'm just happy to be in the top 3 tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a tough race, a crazy race out there on the racetrack in Oswego Speedway. It's a hit or miss for a lot of drivers. They either really love it or they really hate it here, and you seem to always do a really good here at this racetrack, as it's almost a bit of a Stefanski home track feel to it out there on the Speedway, knowing that you guys, a lot of you are from New York and close here to Oswego, and I'm sure you guys always head down here when, it's Super Dirt Week, and we see, the dirt go back onto the asphalt here, and see you guys probably battling here. I don't know if you guys ever raced in real life here or not, but it'd be interesting to know if you guys ever did, or if you guys ever found victory lane here in real life as well.
I haven't raced at Oswego in person. My uncle does every year though for Super Dirt Week in the Pro Stock division, and he won the Super Dirt Pro Stock Series last year for dirt car, so that's pretty cool. But I never have personally had the opportunity to run Oswego in real life. My main track was Ransomville Speedway growing up, and but it is always kind of like a home track feel for us Stefanskis. We kind of really like the bottom here, and I kind of feel bad for my brother Cam. I think my brother Cam was even faster than I was tonight, and he just had some tough luck throughout that race. And sometimes you come out on top, and sometimes you don't. But one thing is almost for certain is anytime we come to Oswego, we're typically pretty fast here.
Absolutely. Another great show for yourself and all the Stefanskis. And as he said, unfortunately there for Cameron, even Evan getting tied up in a few incidences out there on the Speedway. A lot of bumps and bruises for a lot of drivers here this afternoon, as tonight, man, you were one of the bats as you were able to dodge all these wrecks and keep yourself out of trouble there, especially in that big one, as we saw you, see the contact there between the 93 Zane Yost and the 2020 there, Jeremy Saxton, as they're going around there out of core number 4. You're able to dip right down low and cruise right on around those guys, and then it was just pure chaos back there behind you. I'm not sure if there was another driver. I think only Hargraves was the only other one to get through there without any contact or damage out of that wreck. Everyone else got a piece of it out there on the Speedway.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw that one coming from a mile away. I was riding there in 4th, and I'm like, okay, well, you kind of get that feel of your situational awareness, and we were only 20 laps into the race, so I was sitting there going, okay, I started 12th and I'm up to 4th. I can ride here for a little bit, and I really didn't like how they were going 3 wide with a slider going throughout the corner. I didn't have a good feel for that. The Jotes got a little close to him coming out of 1 and 2, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to go well. And sure enough, going into 3 and 4, I lifted out of it completely and just hugged that wall on the inside there. And sure enough, they go around, and I was able to inherit the lead that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And after taking that race lead, the only other driver to pass you here this evening was that 8 rider Tyler Jackson, as you settle in here for a solid second place run. Jacob, who would you like to thank for another solid performance and great drive out there on the racetrack?
I got to thank my guys over at Sunrise Racing, Steve's Lawn Care, PJ Auto Car and Trailer Sales, Tommy Gun Graphics there, always making the car look real sharp. My wife for always supporting me, watching all the streams, and just all the guys putting on this series. Gives us a place to race. You for putting on the broadcast and always doing a great job doing so. Yeah.
Beauty. Well, Jacob, solid run, great drive here this evening, brother, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack Friday night.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place driver, Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski comes home there in position number 2. Solid run, solid drive there for that number 7X machine, as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, Marcos Pace. Hey, Marcos, is Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, you got me.
Marcos, man, another solid run, another great drive here for you, even after getting tied up in a few wrecks out there on the racetrack early on this afternoon. You're able to bounce back through it, race your way up inside the top 10, then the top 5, and then all of a sudden we see you right up there into that third position and trying to get a good restart, trying to find your way maybe around Jacob Stefanski to go after this race lead.
Yeah, the start of the race was a bit interesting for me. T-Jack qualified 3rd, and then they went to back, so that put me up to 3rd to start the race, and then was able to get the jump on can't remember who. I think it might have been one of the Yoasts on the outside. They started outside Jeremy Sexton, and I got by them in 1 and 2, and then coming into 3 and 4, I've just clipped the inside wall, and it's destroyed my left front, and I went all the way back to, I don't know what it was, 28th or whatever dead last was, and then yeah, eventually had to just wait for yellow to come out to pit and fix the damage, and then yeah, started from the back. Had to try and I made a couple of passes, and then yeah, yellows kept coming out. It sort of helped me. Some of them helped me, some of them didn't. But oh, and then yeah, that big one happened with Jeremy and one of the Yo's. I feel sorry for Jeremy because really he had the car to be up here tonight, and yeah, just feel sorry for him. Had a tough 2 last races, so yeah. But yeah, after that happened, I think yeah, was getting up in the top 10, and yeah, was just slowly picking cars off. I think we had a pretty good green flag run for, I don't know, it might have been 20 laps until laps 6. Oh no, it wasn't 60. Maybe 50, something like that. And yeah, I think I passed a few cars in that green flag run, and then I don't know, that yellow come out with that last yellow, I think, and then yeah, Tyrelf and Cameron Stefanski unfortunately got tied up in that, and that gave me 3rd, I think, because yeah, somehow I inherited 3rd from there, and then yeah, basically just tried to finish the race from there. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of lucky breaks out there with some of those caution flags. And then late in this race, having some golden opportunities to try to move a little farther forward, but at the same point in time, trying to play a little defense. You had Richie Yost and Bryce Dickinson and some of these other fast cats back there behind you trying to knock you out of this podium spot. But you're able to hang on to it and recover from, a couple of wrecks, a couple issues out there on the speedway, and still park this 47 ride up and in position number 3 here this evening. It's going to feel pretty dang good, man, after a very up and down day, not only for yourself but for a lot of these drivers, except for probably Jacob Stefanski.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good on T-Jack and Jacob for 1 and 2. They were gone after that last restart. I don't know. Well, they were driving the bottom, man. They were hitting bottom really nice. I just couldn't quite get it as nice as they could, and maybe I burned a bit of my tires up trying to get back through the field. But yeah, there's a lot of fast cats in here, and yeah, to finish up here is always a nice feeling. Good to be back here talking to you as well. Enjoy it. I'll watch the race as soon as I'm finished talking to you. So go back and watch it. And yeah, hopefully I am back up here again soon.
Absolutely, brother. We always enjoy it when you're up here in the broadcast booth with us. And I know one of these nights we'll get you up here in victory lane as Marcos is settled in for 3rd here this evening at Oswego Speedway. Brother, who would you like to thank for such a great run and solid drive here this evening?
Just like to thank JC Floyd and all the Cocky Floyd boys. I do love my TNT boys still, even if I have moved over. But yeah, love those guys still. Yeah, like to thank all the Floyd boys. Jordan Gage, those last 10 laps was letting me know how to run the bottom. So thank you, Jordan, for that. Yeah, Jeremy Sexton's been a big help this week since I've transitioned over. So big thanks to him. And yeah, all the other guys that have helped me out a lot this week.
Absolutely, man. Well, teamwork makes the dream work, and here tonight you got yourself another solid top 3 run, and hopefully some more confidence and more momentum built up for yourself, and more trips up here into the booth. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here in a short turnaround, as we'll see you guys back in action Friday afternoon, and see you hopefully right back up here, a couple spots better and into victory lane yourself.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I might catch you the next one if I'm able to make it. I think I've got practice for go-karts, so I might not be able to make it, but that's all right. I'll be here next Wednesday night, so hopefully I can win that one.
Absolutely, brother. Well, if it's not Friday, brother, we will see you next Wednesday, and hopefully see you right back up here in the top 3 and back up into the broadcast booth. Marcos, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you have yourself a great night. As I know over there in Australia, it's only like, what, noon or something like that right now?
Yeah, 12 o'clock. Yeah, lunchtime.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, definitely just starting your day off. Still got a lot of day left for us here in Ontario and Canada and in the U.S. It's time for our bedtime, brother. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, thank you. I'll catch you in the next one.
See you, mister. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place driver, all the way from Australia, the land down under. It is Marcos Pace coming home there in position number 3 here this evening. Solid run, solid drive right there for that 47 ride. Solid drive all afternoon for these drivers, even with the couple handfuls of caution flags, though, rubbing and scrubbing, the beating and banging. It was good racing nonetheless, man. A lot of fast cats, a lot of drivers just trying to get everything they can. This is sometimes a tough racetrack out there on the Speedway. We saw that here this evening, and obviously drivers probably getting a little frustrated, a little bit upset, especially after getting tied up in some of those wrecks where we saw that big one on the front straightaway. Man, that one's going to go down into the history books here at Oswego Speedway, as we saw probably 90% of the field get tore up and absolutely destroyed in that carnage here on the front stretch. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you enough for tuning in and showing the love here in this one of some absolutely amazing racing action, amazing battles out there on the Speedway, and we can't wait to see you guys back up here in the broadcast booth for another amazing day of racing action as we'll get you guys up here and into the booth again tomorrow night. We'll be back to battle tomorrow evening, and we can't wait to see you guys back in here and cheering on your favorite drivers over there in the Hyper Shift Racing League. But thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! What a run, what a race, what a show!
Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping, fast gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. light burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stage